Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Meme, also known as Memsnaij. On my space here, I make natural hair videos, parent teacher tip videos, and lifestyle talking videos. If you're new, you know what to do. Click the subscribe button to join the family. So this movie, Sextuplets, is out on Netflix, and yeah, I've got family around and I was thinking of something nice and interesting for the whole family to watch. So this movie is a Marlon Wayans movie, and every Marlon Wayans movie that I have watched has got sexual humor and strong language. So I knew that these would be themes that would be in this movie, and I was right. However, obviously because it's rated 13, it has been downplayed. So there's subtle sexual suggestive scenes, as well as a lot of strong language, but obviously subtle strong languages, so nothing not as strong as his usual movies. Just a few F-bombs here and there. There was some shit, some bitch, and a few others. Now, in my home, nothing is off limits. Like, I'm not one of those parents that says, when you're older, I'll tell you about it, or, oh, we'll talk about it when you're older. Nothing is off limits for me. I talk about almost everything. Any question I am asked, there will be an answer. I try to make it age appropriate. So in a video, I was explaining how you could use stories to explain abstract concepts to children. Till this day, I still do it. If it's something that is a bit if I find that a topic is a bit complex, I would use a story to explain it, and obviously the story has to be age appropriate. So a story a story I told my child when he was 5, I would tell it in a different way now that he's 8. When I was growing up, nobody gave me the birds and the bees conversation. Nobody talked to me about sex or any of that until I was much older. So I had to learn in school and from conversations with other people. I definitely did not want that to happen to me. I want everything that he knows. He should have learned it from his parents, you know. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes I don't get to it in time because I'm waiting for a specific time, and then a teacher gets to it before me, which really annoys me, but it's life, you know. I have to learn to deal with it. So when he hears it in school, I come home and I give him my own version. So nobody told me anything about sex. They just said, I just remember being told, if you get pregnant, you will bring shame upon the family. You will disgrace your family. And because I didn't want to bring shame upon my family, I just stayed away from sex. But I was always intrigued by it. Sexual content is everywhere. Like, all you need to do is look on a bus, turn on the TV, it's there, people are talking about sex, like, it's everywhere, you know. And for me, I feel it's better to talk about it than to make it this taboo topic that nobody talks about. I think that it's the lack of information about sex that gets a classroom full of 8-year-olds giggling when the teacher is giving a lesson on puberty or reproduction. Sex is a part of life. It's not a big deal. It's not a taboo. In fact, it is a very important aspect of our existence. A penis is a penis. A vagina is a vagina. Breasts is breasts. They are all body parts. Just as this is called the hand, that's called the nose, this is the lip, that's the tongue, there's the vagina, there's the penis. These are breasts. It's not a big deal. But I had to say to my son when he was younger that, listen, now, this penis is very important. That's why it's called the private part, because it's so important that we need to cover it and we need to keep it safe. Nobody's allowed to touch it ever. You know, even when mommy and daddy are giving you a bath and we scrub, we have to be very careful. So make sure that you guard your penis. Make sure that nobody's touching it. If anybody touches it, you make sure you tell mommy, because mommy needs to make sure that the penis is being safe, because it's very important. As he grows older, I explain to him, look, your penis, remember I told you that it's very important? It's very important because, do you know, when you get older, that's how children come into the world. It's through the penis. The man has something called a sperm that lives inside of his penis, and when it goes into the woman's vagina, a baby is formed, and that baby's in the mummy's tummy. And I just explain it like, call the names. It's not a big deal. It is reproduction. It's what it is, so that when he hears it in school as a subject, it's still not a big deal. It's reproduction. I think that the best way, after giving them this story, the best way to visualize it so that, you know, it's not, because imagine what's going on in a child's mind. You know that daddy has got a penis, you know mommy's got a vagina. How does that penis go into the vagina? It's just like, oh my gosh, what happens? They don't understand the pleasure that comes with sex. I don't want them understanding it just yet, you know. So what I would do is take the children to the park or wherever they would find animals, to the zoo, or even a video, and let them see animals mating. Animals mating is how I want my child to view sex. Like, the animal jumps on top, inserts, does this thing, and walks off. Man walks off, woman walks off. That's the mental picture I don't mind my child having about sex. Just the same way those animals are mating, that's the same way mommy and daddy have to mate for a child to be born. That's a safe and innocent way for my child to view sex, and I'm fine with it. But as they grow older, 13, 15, then I start to explain the pleasure that comes with sex, because you don't want to leave them in that mating section, because as they grow older, they will have a distorted imagination of what sex is. And I want my son to grow up to be able to respect his body when it comes to sex. So not having sex with everything that he sees, but have respect for the sexual union between a man and a woman, and know that it's spiritual, it's more than just sex. So I want him to grow up with that understanding, and also to respect the woman's body as well. So to know that it's not a big deal, but as he grows older and understands the pleasure that comes with sex, to have a respect for it, if that makes any sense. Now, for the strong language, for some reason, I wasn't prepared for this one, you know. When I was younger, first time I ever dropped an F-bomb, power! I received a dirty slap. And I just knew without any explanation that this is not a word that we use in our family. As I got older, I remember one day being in the car with my mom, and some people were just shooting F-bombs and swearing. And then my mom said, I don't understand why people swear. There's so many words in the English language dictionary that if for every swear word we found a new word, we would have improved our English drastically. And just that was it for me. Like, from that day, I was like, oh my gosh, I never want to swear in my life. For every swear word I use, look for a new word in the English dictionary. Do you know what my English would sound like if I did that? And so that was it. And I judged people that swore. You don't know words. There's so many words to use. You swearing. I judged them happily. But now that I'm older, you know, I look at it differently. I understand the humor that comes with swear words, you know, and all of that causes people to swear. However, I still don't swear, and I still believe that, you know, it's been so strongly ingrained in my psyche that I believe that, you know, there's no point. Like, what's the point of swearing? Even if, you think it explains or expresses what you're feeling more, there's so many other words that could express as well as the swear word. So, you know, for me, I just don't do it. And so I just never brought it up. I don't know why. So when he first heard a swear word, he said, oh mom, what does that mean? I hear it's a bad word. And then I had to talk about it. I would have liked to talk about it first, but you know, it is what it is, and it is life. So yeah, I gave the speech about how there's so many more words and blah, blah, blah. However, I stood the chance of him having that superiority thing that I had. And I didn't want that, because I don't want him to feel superior to other people. I just feel like that's just a negative emotion and energy to be carrying around, a superiority because you don't swear. You're not better than anybody because of the things that you do. I don't want that. So I had to say to him, I have loads of friends that swear. I just choose not to, because I feel like for every swear word, I want to be able to find a new word. And so if we hear a swear word, we're like, all right, what new word can we use to replace this? What other word could we say instead of this? So I'm using it as a teachable moment to teach new words, to develop language and things like that. So, you know, it's a win-win at the end of the day. He hears people swearing on the bus, he hears people swearing in the shops, he hears swearing on television, even some of his friends use swear words, but he always says to me, Mom, I hear it all the time, but I don't plan to use it. I'll see what he's like when he's a teenager. I really enjoyed the movie. I think it was hilarious. Marlon Wayans did an amazing job of playing all the different characters in the story. No character was the same. Every character was different. It was like you were looking at a completely different person, and I really loved that about the movie. My favorite character was Jasper. I mean, I just loved Jasper. Jasper was the complete opposite of all of them. Like, he was the most complex character, and I felt like that would have been the hardest character to play. I don't know, like he literally had to change his voice. I loved every scene that Jasper was in, to the point where I rewound it to watch it again. That's how good it was. I also really loved the family theme in the movie, how every family member is different. And I think the best line for me in the movie was when Alan said that his father-in-law said they look like they should be in jail, and he said some of them have been to jail, but you know, they're my family. And I just loved that line. Like, you got crazy people in your family, but at the end of the day, they're your family, and love trumps over every judgment that could exist. I enjoyed the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I felt like I could use this review to also explain how I would introduce sex and strong language to my child. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And until next time, spread love, spread positivity, and live to inspire.